Welcome to day 2 of Countdown to 2016. Last night, my crew, we all had a very difficult time trying to aggregate what you've been asking or thinking about today's topic. Is the voters register bloated? Okay, let's start with those who say it's bloated. There has been talk that the voter register is bloated by between 1.3 and 1.5 million voters. What they did, to arrive at this figure is that as per the 2000 population census, 51% of Ghanaians are above 18 years. And we need to bear in mind that before you can vote, you have to be 18. So that means 51%, about half are above 18 years. Then they move on to the 2010 population census. That gave our population as almost 25 million. Then they took the 2000 division census that half of Ghanaians are above 18 years. But we need to bear in mind that by 2010, 55.28%, no more 51%, 55.28% of Ghanaians are now above 18 years. But they take the 2000 figure of 51.2% and divide the 25 million Ghanaians in 2010 by 2. So you get 12.5 million people averagely above 18 years. Then they take the 2012 census 2012 voter population figures. There were a little over 14 million voters on the register when we voted in 2012. So you take half of the 25 million Ghanaians and you get about 12.5 million Ghanaians. Then they take the voters population of 14 million and subtract 12.5, and they say that the voter register is bloated by 1.5. Now, the correct thing that needs to be done, and most of them seem to agree with this second position, that you take the 2010 figure of 55.28 as above 18 years. Now, as at 2010, we were about 25 million. And to get the average population for each year, we have a growth rate according to the census of 2.5%. So you take 25 million and you find a growth rate of 2.5% to get the 2011 population figure. Then you take another 2.5% growth rate of the 2011 figure and you get the 2012 estimated population. Once you do that, you will see that by the time of 2012 we were about 25.5 million persons, and once you take the 55.28%, you will see that those above 18 years are about 14.3 million. The voters population was about a little over 14, so that makes it 96% of almost 97% of above 18 years. That, I believe, is a bit high. That perhaps that can be reduced. But when my understanding, I may be wrong, of bloated is when it's 100% and beyond. Our take on the issue is that it is high but it's not bloated. We need to bear in mind that we don't have a national identity card. So many persons registered more than once. Some, of course, registered to engage in electoral fraud. Some got more than one electoral ID card to use as a voter ID. So it's, oh, this photograph is not nice. Fortunately, we have the system which can be able to identify. Mind you, no two people have the same fingerprint. And as we speak now, according to the Electoral Commission, over 150,000 cannot vote this year because the machine has seen that they voted more than once. So definitely we can reduce the extent of the bloated nature by auditing. The other side of the coin is that the bloated nature of the register has been mainly on two fronts. There are political parties who ask minors to go and register. The political parties who ask non-Ghanaians to go and register. Now, if we are to register again, the same political parties will ask more minors to register, and this time there will be a more deliberate attempt. Two, the political parties are going to insist that people should be disenfranchised. What we need to do is that we need to bear in mind, if you watching me, you are an electoral officer in an area, and somebody you see is about 12 years old, comes to register, and you say that you are not 18 years. Who told you you are 18 years? And then he will tell you that my father said I'm 18. And you tend to look around and you see the father with a hoe on the shoulder and a cutlass ready to go to farm. Will you, watching me, decide that you will challenge the father? The chiefs will say, in there, you register the person to save your life. So registering a new one will bring attendant problems, but there could be a way of trying to check it. I think that every year the Electoral Commission exhibits the voters register for you watching me and all others to go around and see whether everything is okay. And the voters register, to every year there's a limited registration. It's not as big as everything. The limited registrations for two main categories of people: persons who have attained the age of 18 years since the last registration, and persons who have not registered. Now, given the argument to whether it is bloated or not, I suspect that this year, when the voters register is opened, there are going to be a mad rush of people to try and register. Now, if you watch me and you happen to be a polling agent for a political party, at every registration there's what you call a challenge form. If you don't think that Mr. A or Madam B is above 18, you can object to his name being put in the register at that time. You will fill the challenge form, and after registration, the various districts, all the districts have what we call a district adjudication committee. They will sit down and determine whether your challenge of Mr. A that is not a Ghanaian is valid, or whether your challenge that is not 18 years is valid. And that is how this year, for example, because records have shown that every election year, when the voter register is opened, there's always a mad rush for people to go and register. Once we check that, and with the ongoing process of eliminating those who have registered more than once, I'm sure we can sanitize the system, that by voting time we'll have a lower percentage of those on the voters register. Tomorrow, I'm sure you've heard terms like skirt and blouse. I'm wondering why they say skirt and blouse. They can't say trouser and shirt for men too. But you want to know what is skirt and blouse, you want to find out what is called safe seats. And tomorrow, if you join us, we will see how some people are in parliament because they beat their opponent by 3, not 30, 3 votes. See you tomorrow.